Good morning. I'm here with Michael Lauber. I'm Kate Bachman, Senior Editor of MetalForming Magazine. Michael, tell me a little bit about Tusco Manufacturing history and background.
Well, gosh, Tusco was started more than 75 years ago by 8 members of the local JCs who, after World War II, said we ought to have a little business right here in our town of 1,350 people, making stuff, and they all put in $500. Although most of the 8 didn't have the $500 to put up, but one of them did and said, "I'll back this deal." And they said, "Okay, we're starting a company, and it's going to be a company where um, local folks who are having difficulty or whatever, like Joe, who's had that run-in with the local policeman where he sold a car, but he didn't really do any harm. But we could keep an eye on him. It's be a place he could work. And Jane over here, who's has that history of mental illness, but she's a good kid, and we need to find something for her to do." And so they started this little business, put up a little building on a 54-acre tract, just on one corner of it that one of the 8 owned, and said, let's start making stuff. Who knows how to make anything? And they started as a screen printed sign maker.
Wow.
And they got a big customer in Columbus, 100 miles away, who would provide the substrate, the metal panels. They would paint them here, and then they would make the screens, and screen print the signs. And that's how we got into the advertising sales business, except that company in Columbus went bankrupt. And to settle their affairs, these guys took possession of their metal fabbing equipment, a couple shears and a big bed press, and that's how we got into metal fabricating as well. So crazy stuff. The guy who was, again, the kind of the godfather of the business, had a very successful other business in town. And this was a bit of a hobby for him. But over time, he ended up having over 150 people working here in the 60s,
Oh my
um,
gosh.
making all manner of things, from 3-tiered tables. If you're old enough, you might have had one with a toaster in the kitchen of your
Ah,
of uh, of your kitchen as a kid, for the toaster. Um, and they made boat anchors, and they made boat ladders, and they could just figure out how to make whatever somebody was willing to pay for. Um, so we bought the business from the original owners in 1979. Um, and I ended up buying out my other family members in 1994, and have had it for the ensuing 30 plus years.
that is the most interesting business start story I have ever heard. And I have heard a lot, let me tell
There's a whole bunch of more bizarre details that go along with this stuff, but our heritage was really as a community development project in a lot of ways, and we carry that on with us. We're very engaged in our community, with the schools, with United Way, with a variety of other things too, and I'm proud to carry on that tradition.
What would you say? You referenced your community involvement earlier. What are some of the principles or credos that guide your business sense?
Well, I'll start by saying I'm part of the onboarding process. We had a group of people that started this morning, and I get to spend a half an hour with them too. And the thing I focus on are our core values. Our core values are respect, accountability, and initiative. And when I say respect, and these are, yes, they're on posters, they're on cards, they're on table tents. We want people to feel them and live them, and we hire and candidly discipline based on them as well. Respect, we say we build respectful relationships, that you don't just expect to be respected. Work at being respected by being respectable, and then treating others with respect too. So you can disagree with somebody, but do so respectfully. And likewise, accountability. We say First, we hold ourselves accountable, then we hold our partners accountable. So that could be a client who hasn't paid their bills on time, and we'll hold them accountable and say, we're not shipping because you haven't done your part of the deal here. And we do it respectfully, but internally as well. Hey, you said you were going to do this by X day, X time, whatever the case may be. And likewise, people can hold me and do accountable for what I commit to doing as well. And then finally, initiative. And we say that we think ahead and then we move ahead. We don't just think and think and think and ponder and plan and do all those sorts of things. No. All right, we've thought about this. Let's go. Let's go make it happen. And we fail often. Don't get me wrong. We absolutely fail. But failure is just an opportunity to start anew with more information, with a better understanding of what you're doing. So I've failed far more times than I have succeeded, but I've succeeded because of those failures.
Wonderful.
And we encourage that with other people too. Another piece of this, and it's part of our onboarding, my spiel, if you will, is that, we're hiring you to do a job today. You're being brought in to do X, Y, Z, but we start training you for your new job tomorrow. We're going to pour into you as much as you want to be poured into, as much as you can handle, as much as you want. I'm not looking for people to say, nope, I just want to be a pair of hands, show up, get my paycheck, and, and go home. We want people that want more. And we have found so many people that really respond to that very positively. And I'll be blunt about this piece too. I talk about it with almost every business group I ever talk to, particularly among manufacturers. We have half of our staff are women, half of our manufacturing hands on the floor folks are women. 2/3 of our supervisors are women. Fully 1/2 of our senior leadership team are women. And I think that makes us a bit unusual in the metal fab world. But we have found that women are overlooked and undervalued when it comes to working in manufacturing. And that's a missed opportunity. So we're known as a place you want to come work. Your gender doesn't matter. Your work ethic matters. How well you respectfully and with accountability and initiative go about doing your work. We've gotten some spectacular women in particular who have joined us who said, I never thought a manufacturing career was even a possibility for me. So I'm very proud of that fact as well. And being the father of 4 daughters might have influenced me somewhat.